Welcome back to the Daily Morning Sports Feed on Fiddler, with me as editor Olivia. Today, let's take a look at some notable politics news in the past 24 hours. Thank you for always supporting and accompanying us. Come to the following hot news. Biden outlines Federal Emergency Management Agency response plan after Hurricane Ian. Indiana GOP chairman blasts White House spinning Biden's "Where's Jackie?" gaffe. Arizona Attorney General sues Biden to stop illegal student loan handout. The first news. Biden outlines Federal Emergency Management Agency response plan after Hurricane Ian. President Joe Biden on Thursday said, "Our entire country hurts, along with the people of Florida after Hurricane Ian flooded communities across the state, knocked out power, forced people into shelters and raised fears of a substantial loss of life." Biden said the storm could up as the deadliest hurricane in Florida's history. During a visit to the headquarters of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, where he was briefed on federal response efforts, the president said, "The numbers are still unclear, but we're hearing early reports of what may be substantial loss of life." Biden said he would visit Florida and meet with Republican Governor Ron DeSantis when conditions allow. The president said he would also visit Puerto Rico, a U.S. territory that was slammed earlier this month by Hurricane Fiona. "We know many families are hurting," Biden said at FEMA's National Response Coordination Center, where teams of specialists from across the federal government and partner organizations were monitoring the storm and assisting in recovery efforts. "Our entire country hurts with them." He urged those affected by Ian to take seriously the warnings from local officials to stay safe and remain indoors. "Don't go outside unless you have to," Biden said. "The danger is real, to state the obvious. Please obey all warnings and direction from emergency officials." Biden and DeSantis spoke before the hurricane hit and again Thursday morning as the destruction began to come into focus. Ian made landfall as one of the strongest hurricanes ever in the United States. The storm flooded homes on Florida's coasts, cut off the only bridge to a barrier island, destroyed a historic waterfront pier and knocked out electricity to 2.67 million homes and businesses. At least one man was confirmed dead. Biden declared a major disaster in parts of Florida early Thursday at DeSantis' request, freeing up additional federal assistance to state and local governments and individuals. FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell said more counties would likely be added to the disaster declaration as assessments were carried out. Asked if his administration would need additional money from Congress to respond to the storm, Biden said, "We may." Biden said DeSantis, with whom he has squabbled politically, was extremely happy with the federal response. The president said, "This is not about anything having to do with our disagreements politically. This is about saving people's lives, homes and businesses." Biden said he also had talked with several Florida mayors on Thursday and delivered the same message he shared with the governor about the federal government's commitment to helping with the cleanup and with rebuilding. "We are here. We're going to do everything we can to provide everything they need," Biden said, adding that his instruction to them was to call him directly at the White House with their needs. "They know how to do that." Biden also spoke to the people of Puerto Rico, who are cleaning up and trying to rebuild after Hurricane Fiona ravaged the U.S. island territory before Ian pummeled Florida on Wednesday. "I'm committed to you and the recovery of the island," he said. "We've not gone away." The following news. Indiana GOP chairman blasts White House spinning Biden's "Where's Jackie?" gaffe. Representative Jackie Walorski, an Indiana Republican, died in August along with two of her staffers in a car crash. The head of Indiana's Republican Party said Thursday that President Biden's remarks in which he appeared to forget about the death of a congresswoman during a White House event, calls so much into question. Kyle Hupfer, the Indiana Republican Party chairman, said people deserve an answer as to why Biden appeared to forget about the August 3 death of Representative Jackie Walorski. "No amount of spin from the White House can justify President Joe Biden forgetting the tragic passing of Jackie Walorski, the latest gaffe that calls so much into question," Hupfer said. "The American people deserve a straight answer, not a political talking point, as to how the President of the United States could forget that a congresswoman he was purportedly trying to honor had passed away just last month." Biden made his remarks during the White House Conference on Hunger, Nutrition and Health. Walorski, 58, a Republican, was one of four lawmakers who sponsored legislation pushing for the conference last year. She died in a tragic car accident along with two of her staffers. Biden was attempting to give her a shout-out during his speech. I want to thank all of you here, including bipartisan elected officials like Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie, are you here? Biden said. I think she was going to be here to help make this a reality. Since then, Republicans have called into question whether Biden is fit for office and have criticized the White House's response to the incident. The president was naming the congressional champions on this issue and was acknowledging her incredible work, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said. He had already planned to welcome the Congresswoman's family to the White House on Friday. There will be a bill signing in her honor this coming Friday. So, of course, she was on his mind. She was top of mind for the president. White House spokesperson Karine Jean-Pierre's explanation is a disrespectful lie to Jackie's constituents and the American people, Hupfer said Thursday. We deserve a real answer. The last news. Arizona Attorney General sues Biden to stop illegal student loan handout. Suit says Biden violated the Constitution by putting taxpayers on the hook for student loan debt. Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich on Thursday filed a lawsuit to block the Biden administration's decision to cancel hundreds of billions of dollars in student loans. Brnovich, a Republican, said Biden acted without congressional approval and his action conflicts with U.S. Supreme Court decisions that have reined in federal agencies from taking actions not authorized by Congress. His lawsuit targets President Biden and Education Secretary Miguel Cardona. This mass debt forgiveness program is fundamentally unfair, unconstitutional, and unwise, Brnovich said. The question Americans need to be asking is why college costs so much in the first place. President Biden announced his administration would cancel $10,000 to $20,000 in student loan debt for people making less than $125,000 each year individually or $250,000 as a family. The Congressional Budget Office estimated Biden's plan would cost the government $400 billion, but Brnovich and others have said the costs could soar even higher. Republicans have stressed that Biden's move doesn't cancel the debt but rather moves that debt onto the government's books and puts taxpayers on the hook for that amount. The GOP more broadly has argued that high rates of federal spending and taking on new debt are actions that have contributed to high levels of inflation that have plagued consumers over the last year. The White House has said the loan handout is paid for by deficit reduction that was already on track before the handout was announced. Brnovich's filing at the U.S. District Court in the District of Arizona notes that Biden used the COVID pandemic to legally justify his decision to have the government take on student loan debt. But it also noted that Biden this month said in an interview that the pandemic is over. Despite the president's repeated assertion that the pandemic is over, the administration still views the pandemic as still a useful pretext to adopt policies that would otherwise be incontestably illegal, Brnovich argued. So it is here. Defendants are seizing upon the pandemic that they otherwise acknowledge is over to attempt to execute the most expensive stroke of a pen in the history of this nation. The filing claims Biden exceeded his authority, made arbitrary decisions about the amount of loan relief, and violated the Constitution by ignoring the right of Congress to set spending priorities. It asked the court to issue an order declaring Biden's move as a violation and prohibit its enforcement. Earlier this week, an attorney at Pacific Legal Foundation sued the Department of Education over the debt forgiveness plan in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Indiana. And those are also the most outstanding news that closes daily feeds. Thank you to everyone for listening and following Fiddler channel. If you find the video interesting and useful, please click like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the latest political news.